welcome Anu Ramani to this Great People interview series. Thank you so much, Anu, for joining.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Great. So for our audience, Anu Ramani has been a digital marketer and an entrepreneur for a long time. She's leading an organization, and without me trying to steal the charm, let me hand it over to Anu to introduce herself and her organization.
Thank you, Sachin. I am the managing director of Isoline Communications. We are a boutique content marketing agency. So we enable clients who are in the tech, media, and telecom space to achieve their goals, their marketing goals, by creating content and amplifying it. So what this means is we develop websites, marketing campaigns, and content of various kinds that our clients can use to achieve their sales enablement goals, for example, or do some lead generation or increase thought leadership or brand awareness. So whatever those are. I set the agency up in 2015. So we've been going for about 6.5 years now. I can't believe it. We're now a team of about 11 of us, and we are based in London, in King's Cross. And like many organizations, we operate on a semi-remote kind of a basis. So we're in the office 2 days a week. We work from home 3 days a week. And we're quite lucky because we get to work with a range of clients who operate in the most exciting sectors, whether it's the Internet of Things or technologies to make hospitals work more efficiently, or ways by which the content that you see on streaming platforms is delivered. And so it's all very, very fun. So I'm quite lucky.
Great. Yeah, I see that these days, lots of organizations I'm talking to, especially in the UK, they are doing this 2-3 days a week in the office. And that's pretty much, even after the pandemic, has become a norm, and people are loving it. People are finding it, very useful to continue. So you think this trend is there to continue now?
I think it's here to stay. In fact, one of our clients, HP Revis, who does commercial real estate and smart office technologies, we did a massive multi-award-winning campaign for them that precisely talked about this. So it interviewed, I think maybe 500 people, a huge cross-section of employers, as well as industry experts, analysts, and our clients' own experts, to find out what is the future of work. And at that point, what we discovered, and what I believe is true, is that there is a huge gap between employees' expectations and what employers are ready to offer at the moment. So employees are moving much faster in terms of how they want their work life to transform than employers, who often have huge fixed investments in space and all kinds of other things. They have policies that need to be updated and so on. So it's a case of them, people taking their employers along with them on this journey. Personally, I believe that a hybrid model is the only way forward, because there are great merits to working together collaboratively in the same space. We all know how much easier it is to train people when they are nearer to us and so on. So I think everybody will move to a hybrid model within the next few years if they haven't already.
Wow, that's a great insight to start an interview, to be honest. Never thought in the first question itself, the listeners are going to get, probably the hottest insight into the future of work. Thanks for that. So, Isoline, where this name comes from?
Oh, it's such a good question, Sachin. It was one of the trickiest. I was grappling with it for ages because, number one, every name is gone. That's the biggest problem, right? So my original idea, so my first name, what did I want to name my agency? I wanted to name my agency Nice Communications. And there's a reason for this. Nice, it's a great word. Nice is a lovely word. But it also has a lesser known meaning. It means extremely precise and accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a great name for an agency, something that has those two meanings, very precise and yet very, with all the warm overtones of the word. And
Right.
that's what I wanted to name it, but it's too it's too common a word to be Googleable, and also it was taken, so I couldn't.
Correct.
But Isoline has this theme, which is, I don't know, you would have heard of isobar and isotherm, which are basically lines on a map that
Yeah.
connect points across the globe which have an equal value. So an isobar would connect all the points which have the same atmospheric pressure on the globe. And, it's basically a series of wavy lines that does this. And I set up Isoline. I mean, I use Isoline as a name because I wanted this concept of campaigns that work absolutely great for your audiences wherever they are. So it's not a cookie cutter approach, but it's really tailored to how your audiences want to perceive you and enable you to achieve success wherever you are. So that's the idea.
Fantastic.
A geeky name, as my friends tell me, for a geeky agency.
All right. So how did this journey start into, Isoline and what you have been doing before?
Well, my background is actually, I started off in advertising in J. Walter Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
That was way back in India. I continued with advertising in Singapore, and then I moved to Hong Kong. I was doing web development, and that's when I entered PR, which I
Right,
stayed
so
in for
you're a
about.
developer as well.
No, I was on the marketing side. So I was on the client handling side. We had
Okay.
teams of developers and creatives, but I was always on the strategy and this client-facing side.
Okay.
And then when I moved into public relations, but the common thread across all of this was that it was always for tech B2B clients. So, Nokia and Intel and SAP and Syntoniq Mobile, and it's all these brands which, are very deep in the value chain, and I really enjoyed them. So I think that's one of the things that we tell people when they want to join Isoline. We say that you must find it enriching to learn new things. You must find it enriching to understand how this small part of the world, how does it work? Because that's its own reward. Because now you know how it works, and that makes you happy.
Yeah.
And I feel I have that kind of personality. And so as I kept going, I kind of realized that public relations as a space would need to reinvent itself quite a lot because of the enormous amount of high value free content on the internet. People didn't want to pay for magazine subscriptions. Trade magazine subscriptions, forget it. Therefore, the number of journalists was shrinking. PR wasn't able to deliver leads or able to assure leads. So I thought content marketing would be an industry that's on the rise. I'm good at writing. So that's what I thought, let me start it up. And yes, it's suddenly been 6 years.
So obviously your customers are, as you said, tech customers, telecoms industry. So there must be large organizations, or you serve medium, small as well. I guess how do you?
Large.
Yeah.
Well, by and large, the majority of our clients are very big. So we really punch above our weight when it comes to the scale of the companies that entrust their business to us, which I'm extremely proud of. We have worked with startups before as well. Mm-hmm. But I would say that our sweet spot and the majority of the work we do is with larger companies or with scale-ups, as they call them.
Wow. Okay. So, with such large organizations giving you work, where do you find it? Well, what is it that you do to retain them and grow? Because obviously, there are big giants who would probably be eyeing on them as well.
It's a very good question. And I would say there are two real factors that enable an agency to keep clients and to grow them organically. One is quality of service delivery. So, and this kind of encompasses how well we get content right, how well we keep the campaign ticking, how proactive we are, and all that sort of thing that enable clients to understand that your business matters to us, and we treat it with the respect it deserves. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that, I think that is one of the most important factors. Always ensuring that that quality of service delivery is up there. And I think the second is this, I'm going to say expertise. And what that means is that because we are such niche players, because we are so specialized, it enables us to have a lot of confidence in best practice, in being able to tell clients that I know you think that's the right way to do it, but we strongly believe this is a better approach, and here is why. And we are able to come up with best practice, we are able to validate our thinking, so we can be bold, but also take clients on that journey with us. So I think those must, I would put it down to that.
Yeah, but when it comes to growing customers, and when you walk into these big corporates, uh, how do you beat the competition? Because compared to those companies, agencies are typically small anyway. But having said that, there is a fierce competition in the market, I guess.
Yes, there is, and it comes down, I think, at that bidding process. It comes down to how well you can demonstrate your understanding of the sector, because clients don't really want an agency that needs spoon feeding. They typically are looking for how quickly can you get up and running, because they are looking for quick results. I mean, results as time to results has to be minimum. They're looking for a team that they like and they would enjoy working with.
Yeah.
They're looking for people who are passionate about their sector. So it sometimes needs to be a natural fit. And
I guess it's your niche which gives you that differentiator, that even if there is an agency which has got more number of people, more number of customers than yours, you would say, well, but I just do this and nothing else. So that's my niche.
definitely.
And hence you can demonstrate that, well, I'm not going to give you the marketing jargon. I'm going to tell you the story or referenceability that, this is what I built for potentially people who are, well, companies who are your competitors, if not, the companies that you can relate to.
Exactly. I wouldn't say competitors. We're too small to take competitors. I know many of the large agencies have these so-called Chinese walls and they can service. We are too small for that. So we don't take competitive clients to our existing clients, but we certainly are able to say, here is a company in a different sector, but in a comparable situation. They had similar challenges in that sector, and that approach sometimes works. So yeah. The specialization, I think, is, yes, what it means is sometimes we need to turn away business or walk away from business that's not within our knitting. But equally, when there are clients who are in our sweet spot, yes, it gives us an advantage.
So what was your biggest challenge in the recent journey, and how did you handle it?
I'm not going to say COVID, because that's a challenge everyone's faced, and I don't want to be a cliche. But I think a fallout of COVID is that recruitment has become a major challenge. And we do have to migrate or evolve, I should say. We do have to evolve the way that we work, the way that we look for people, train people, so that we can continue to maintain that service delivery.
Right.
I think that's a massive challenge. It's huge.
Right. So is it really finding the talent, or which was going to be my next question, is it to keep them happy, or finding the right kind of compensation package to attract the talent? Which is the challenge in getting the recruitment going?
Right. Okay, finding the people is the biggest one, I would say, out of the ones that you said, because compensation, it's just numbers, right? It's really easy. If this number doesn't work, try a different number. That's okay. But yes, finding people, training them up, and yeah, keeping a team motivated, keeping a team happy. I think there's a number of ways that as a company leader, you have to be thinking about that all the time. You have literally, it has to be one of your top of mind priorities. And personally, I find it a challenge because we are still small enough that everybody has to work in the business. And so I don't have, I don't have that luxury to say, okay, I'm going to spend time on the business. I'm going to plan the business. It just kind of grows organically, and you're like, oh, okay, you're on holiday, let me help you. So I think personally that's a challenge, but yes.
So are there any tools that help you, in your productivity or service delivery to the clients? Are you using any platforms?
Many. If you're semi-remote, you rely on them, don't you? You rely on cloud-based collaboration solutions. We've got our Slack, we've got Dropbox, we've got Canva, we've got Hootsuite, we've got the works, we've got Trello, we've got Notion. Yeah, it's a range of collaboration, workflow management, and communications platforms that even we talk on Zoom. I mean, we are talking on Zoom now. So yeah. It would be impossible to do work without.
Okay. Well, I'm sure, the audience is going to find all these answers very interesting, and a lots to take away from, the discussion that we just had. Hi there. I just wanted to share with you all why London School of Digital Business is doing this great people interview series. Well, for the last few years, small and medium businesses have been facing lots of challenges. Individuals have been wondering what's going to happen to their careers because of these emerging trends and technologies, artificial intelligence, VR, AR. What's going to happen? It feels as if the world is changing. And then COVID hit, and there is a lot of depression in the minds of people. So we thought we need to bring in some positivity, bring in some motivation and inspiration. And it's all good to know these stories of, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. But we wanted to talk about the extraordinary stories of the people that you get to see in the ordinary world. They are no way ordinary people. They are great people, but they are the ones you can relate to. Hence, we thought this is something that we want to bring in to increase the chances of success for many, motivate them, give them the insights. I'm so happy to share that every leader has shared completely unique and different insights because their situations have been different. Somebody was alone, and we know that entrepreneurs are alone at the top and how it feels, and they fought their challenges. Somebody had partnership, business partners, and somebody could not survive the business partnership, so they had to rebuild themselves. Somebody thought, well, I could have done this differently if I was to go back in time. So every insight is so unique. I must thank all the people who shared their journeys, and I'm sure this will help you all succeed in life, increase the chances of your success, as well as reach there faster, and of course, achieve happiness in life. Thank you for listening. We just had, just to go on a little lighter side of the conversation, let me ask you some simple and one word, one sentence answer questions.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing to do over a weekend?
Cycling.
All right. And if I may ask, what's your family, and do you have any pets?
Yes, I have 2 kids. One is in university, one's finishing school. I have a cat. So yes, quite a...
All right.
There's plenty to do.
And what's your favorite holiday destination?
That would be Namibia. It's one of the most just astonishingly beautiful places in the world.
Wow.
Just takes your breath away.
All right. So going back in time, if you were given a chance, what you would do differently?
I don't know. Maybe I'd have been a bit more aggressive, or maybe a bit more. No, let me go back further. I think I'd have done a degree in literature rather than computer science. There you go.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Now coming to the most interesting part of the interview, which is the conclusion. And if I may ask, what would be your ultimate goal, vision, or something that you have set to yourself for your life? Purpose?
Oh, very heavy indeed.
Right. You can answer whatever you like. You can choose to talk about work or personal, it's your choice.
I think my purpose would be to be of use, to be of value. I don't know to whom, to someone always. Yeah, I think that probably drives me.
Right. And in terms of work and Isoline, what are your goals for, next 2 years to 5 years?
I think carbon neutrality is one. It's a journey we have just started. We're just analyzing our emissions. We're trying to get to, I think net carbon zero is a very big goal for us, but I don't think I even know the pathway there, but we're at least trying to figure out our carbon footprint and neutralize that. We want to, and apart from that, which is an immediate goal, I do want to build a sustainable, growing, healthy, sustainable business. I think that's as far as I would say.
Fantastic. And where do you get your inspiration? Who is, and why?
I'm lucky enough to have worked with a number of incredible people who have all shaped me into the professional I am today. But there's one lady who stands out, who I can, I strive every day to be like her. And her name is Anne Forrest. She founded Golin in what was Forrest International then in Hong Kong. One of the most astonishing, inspiring, professional leaders I have ever met. The highest standards, just, oh my God, just, she would come out of a workshop, an 8-hour workshop, everybody else is just looking drained, and she's like fresh as a daisy, full of like ideas, and just so, there was not a single client who wouldn't pick up a call from Anne Forrest day or night. She was just commanding. I'm so privileged to have worked with her, and I'm just, yeah. I just feel I'm a bit gushy, but yes.
Well, if you're doing something that you like, then probably 8 hours, 10 hours into that work, it's not work, it's your passion that you're living, it's your dream you're
Absolutely,
living.
yeah.
So you can't feel tired after living your dream. You should be more energetic.
I think so. She certainly was.
Right. So I get your point there. And what I would conclude is, am I really getting tired towards the end of the day? If yes, then maybe I'm not doing the right thing, probably not doing it the right way, probably not in the right job.
Maybe you're right.
And it's time to introspect and find out what's going wrong. Towards the end of the day, if I feel, I want to start again, and when I get my clock ticking for the next morning, then yes, you are at the right workplace. And having said that, we as leaders, partly contributors to this. Are we making our workplaces, a great place to work where people would like to come rather than having to, come. And I think, if we are able to build or bridge the gap between what they, would enjoy and what they're doing, then I think we'll have top performers, I guess.
Absolutely, you're right.
Right. So the last and the most important question is, what would be your advice to our audience who is, small entrepreneurs? There are businessmen who are starting their journeys. Some are in the middle of their journeys, and of course, people from universities as well.
I think my advice would be to be flexible. Just don't kind of ever imagine that, okay, I've started this now and this is my path and this is my make or break and I have to do it in this way. Because with entrepreneurship, with business running, you need to be flexible, you need to pivot, you need to say, okay, that isn't working, let me try this isn't working, let me go there. And that's how you will find the right way. Being too wedded to a particular route or a particular thought or idea is, sometimes can be counterproductive.
Yeah, well, that's very useful. So with that, I think I would like to come towards the end of this session. I really enjoyed talking to you and listening to your journey, ups and downs, but again, stand out there and make your mark, beat the competitors, regardless of their size, and working with high profile companies. So I'm really motivated and inspired by this interview. I'm sure the audience is equally with me. Thank you so much once again, and Anu Ramani, for your time. Any last
Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thank you.